Dubious ones, welcome back to the channel for some reasons why I quit playing WWE 2K so early on. Now, I understand a lot of you may have already given up on this game as well, but I gave up on it rather soon considering I had grown my channel substantially from when leading up to this game, and I only played it for a little while before falling off the game and essentially quitting it and not really touching it entirely. So this is an unscripted video, but I made it for you guys. I want you to know why I have fallen off 2K, what pulled me away from the game, and some of the reasons. So I'm going to get into that now. So without further ado, let's get into it here. But if you're not familiar, myself, I'm a huge wrestling game fan. I have been playing wrestling games for, I would say, my entire life. Like the first wrestling game I ever played was either WrestleMania on the Nintendo Entertainment System as a kid, because we had that, or WrestleFest in the arcade. I don't know which came first, but I've been playing this game since playing wrestling games since the early '90s and the end of the '80s. So since I was a little kid, I've always been playing wrestling games. My favorites, obviously, the N64, the golden age of the Aki engine, was my big boom into it. But I definitely think that, hey, I wanted to share my opinions here because you guys know a lot of you followed me because of my coverage of WWE 2K24 before the launch, before we got into the game. And I had big plans for this game. I was really excited to play. As you can see from one of my early live streams here of the My Rise, which I still have yet to finish. I was really excited about this game. And, I'm going to start first by saying the game's creator wrestler, as if you can look at me right there. Fantastic. Wrestling games have always had the best creator wrestler of any game ever. Games like Street Fighter 6 have only now come close in 2024, 2023, 20, whatever, when it released, to getting to that level of customization. Games only now are catching up to where wrestling games have been for a decade now. Like a decade plus. Like wrestling games were your creative sandbox for so many video games for so long, which is why I love them. I myself, being a PvP centric player, I always enjoyed playing against friends, against people online, having players to play against. As a player back in the No Mercy days, the WrestleMania 2000 days, like early days of high school, I would go to friends' houses and we'd have like a bunch of friends over and we'd all play like WrestleMania 2000 again. We all would have our controller packs where we'd have our created wrestlers saved and we'd bring it to each other's houses and we would all play like 4-man. We would do like the Royal Rumbles or whatever it was, and we would play all four of us together with our created wrestlers and just mastering that reversal timing and everything, and it was a blast. I played the SmackDown series and everything on the PlayStations at friends' houses who had PlayStations. I was never a PlayStation guy. I was always an Xbox guy, so I always felt kind of shafted when I got Raw and Raw, like Raw 1 and 2 were horrible, horrible games. They were hilarious in the fact that you could open cases and get like gear like title belts and sunglasses and t-shirts and stuff that you could put on and you could knock off your opponents. So they had some weird innovative things like that, but the gameplay was trash. The gameplay was horrible. It was as bad, if not worse, than like the acclaimed games that had like Attitude and Warzone, which at the time graphically looked great for the N64 and for the PlayStation. The graphics looked great in those games, but you had games like World Tour and WCW NWO Revenge after that were on the N64. Those games, though, the gameplay, even though it looked worse, it looked better in Attitude and Warzone. The engine was so much better that people didn't care. Like, No Mercy was not a good looking game, even for its time. And Revenge and WrestleMania 2000, all the Aki games, Virtual Pro Wrestling, all those, they didn't look amazing in comparison to what was available at the time, but they played so much better. They played so good. And I was a diehard like wrestling game fan all my life and played, most of the iterations, whatever I could get on Xbox, Xbox 360, Xbox One, and eventually you got the SmackDown versus Raw series, which turned into like WWE 12, and then turned into 2K, 13, 14, all the way to 24 with different developers throughout and everything. And I always enjoyed them. I always enjoyed the wrestling games, even if they didn't have the best control scheme, even if they didn't have this or that, because I was an online player and I was a creation player. So community creations, one of the greatest things WWE games, wrestling games had ever come out with. Being able to get perfect models of all your favorite wrestlers and being able to download them was one of the greatest things they ever did. The creation was next to nothing as far as any other games. You'd never seen anything like it. It was so good. But they haven't really done anything with it for the last decade. It's pretty much been stagnant. Few updates, few changes here and there. Now you can create a belt. Now you can change your money in the bank briefcase. But for the most part, they haven't really iterated on the creation suite, which I think is a real shame because I guess Ukes and like when they were under the THQ umbrella, they really pushed the boundaries of a creative wrestler. And as you can see here, I was able to make a pretty cool creative wrestler for my rise, and I still think it's one of the best creative characters in any video games out there. But they haven't really done much to iterate on it. But that's not why I stopped playing 2K. The reason I stopped playing 2K24 was because many people, when I was talking and I was online on Twitter, on X, and in the community and everything, people would tell me that their save files were getting corrupted in 2K24 in the first week of the game being out. And that's usually due to community creations in some way, shape, or form. But I'm going to show you why that turned me off right here. So I'm going to play the audio from this. But the reason for it, in WWE 2K17, now I have a full clip. This is the shortened clip. I can even leave a link in the description if you guys care to the full video. I actually was recording at the time when 2K17 first deleted my save file and my live reactions to it. This is just as it's happening. So forgive the potty mouth and the language, but this was my live reactions to it happening to me back in 2K17. This was in 2016, almost a decade ago.
Itself that time. Is that why it said download at your own risk? Because it's just gonna break your fucking game. No, seriously, this thing said download at your own risk, and it just, as it was like almost finished, it just froze my game. Because usually I don't get frozen. Like it's just, it'll never get me back to the other screen. I've let it sit for like 2-3 minutes, and it just didn't. It just still just had a little spinny, and I'm like, okay, so I have to reset. This one.
So for reference, I'm just talking to a buddy of mine that I used to play Destiny 1 with. I was just in a party chat with him while I was playing 2K17, and at this point, I'd sunk hundreds of hours into just creating my character and fully getting him to the point with like the move set, everything, all the logos, everything perfect. And I was just downloading characters and community creations, and I happened to stumble across a CM Punk that looked really good, was the best looking one in community creations, but it said in the comments, download at your own risk, which I thought was just like a weird thing. It didn't say why, it just said download at own risk. I didn't know what that meant, but this was my reactions to this happening to me.
Just legit froze. Then the screen went black and the game just reset. Like it legit. Like, that guy's great. Is that this coincidental? Because I've never had that happen before. If all my created stuff is gone, you know how furious I would be?
Where would you go? You've got something
no way.
Like this. You got something
no way.
Like that. Where would you go?
Welcome to WWE2k17. This better not have just deleted my save file. No. It's got like 1,577 downloads. This would be flagged if
This was it.
Okay, let's try downloading again. No! No! No way, no way! How could you do that? How could it get rid of all my saved everything? How is that possible? No.
This is a real real reaction for you
I
here.
have to do that off your.
No save data for this area could be found. What? What? Dude, you have no idea. I've already put like 12, 14 hours into creating my guy. There's no way. You can't leave comments on created stuff anymore to warn people about that. What the fuck?
Yeah.
No way.
So I'll rewind a little bit here so you can see.
Awesome.
This was my roster that I had at the time, that I had downloaded. And this was me just trying to download the CM Punk. And I'll get it speeded up a little bit.
Oh, we're playing Crystal for sure.
Yep.
So I'm trying to download.
Oh shit, I should be jumping in. I should be jumping in because I have to do my weekly, which is Clash. Oh,
It is.
So again, just talking about Destiny stuff. But again, just trying to save this character.
I should be jumping in right now, but the thing with the weeklies is you can save them to the next week and it'll be something else the next week.
So we were just shooting the breeze. We were just shooting the breeze about Destiny. As you can see, it's trying to save the CM Punk. My downloader count, I had 18 of 20 downloads available left. My reset was in 24 hours. This was the back in the day stuff. Sorry, I'm just trying to fast forward a little bit to what happens as the save happens. So there you go. It force closed my game.
Oh, the game just reset itself.
So it force closed. And then, yeah, as you saw,
You got
No way.
I lost everything. I lost everything. My characters, everything.
Messages to the.
All my stuff was gone. Gone, diddly on, absolutely gone, and it crushed me. And I had just started making content for 2K17. I had the whole universe mode thing planned, whole bunch of things planned, and it just ruined everything for me. So I didn't buy the game. I didn't buy 2K18. I never played it. I skipped a year. I got 2K19 for the PC, but being an online player, 2K19 didn't have a big player base back then in 2019 on PC, so I could never really get any matches. So I didn't play a lot of 2K19. Then 2K20 turned out to be the disaster that it was, so I never bought that game. And then we skipped 2K21, back to 2K22. I got that. It was okay. I skipped 23. Then back to 24. I got back to the YouTube channel, went back to creating content, and largely built my channel around this game, thinking, hopefully this is the best iteration of this engine, even though I wasn't super crazy about the engine that we'd got with 2K22 with the stun meter system and all that. This, as you can see, the stun meter and everything that's in this game. I had my issues with the engine of this game, sure, but that's not why I stopped playing. The fact that after a decade, they didn't fix the save file corruption issue turned me right off. It didn't happen to me in this game, but I knew it would if I kept playing and if I was doing community showcases and doing all the things I wanted to do for my channel as far as creating content for this game. I knew it would happen to me, so it didn't have to happen yet for me to lose interest in this game. When I heard it was still happening in 2K24 nearly a decade later, because again, that was 2016 when that happened to me the first time. I heard it happening to people last year. I heard it's happening to people over the years. I didn't want to believe it for 24, and it happened again this year. That to me is unacceptable. A game-breaking glitch that ruins all of your progress in these games still being a thing 10 years later, 8 years later, it's unacceptable. Absolutely unacceptable, and shame on you, 2K. You're a multi-billion-dollar company. You get tons of money for this game. Shame on you. All they seem to care about is pushing microtransactions, my faction, anything they can monetize, and just going for the jugular, getting as much cash as they can without fixing core fundamental issues that have existed in their game for over a decade. They got rid of Create a Story so many years ago, even though it was a fan favorite mode, because it caused issues and they had issues with it, so they just got rid of it. Well, I'm not saying get rid of community creations as a whole, but if you can't fix your game, man, it's unacceptable. I was upset with the 100 character limit. I was upset with even more so the 1,000 logo limit. But the fact that the game-breaking glitch that will corrupt your save file still exists and has not been addressed and has not been a big enough issue for them to fix really soured me on wanting to play this game, because this game, if you didn't pay the ridiculous amount of money they wanted for the stupid WrestleMania edition, and if you were just a pleb who got the deluxe edition like I did, on 2 consoles, mind you, on PC and on Xbox Series X, but who only got that version to save a little bit of money, I have to play through the entire 40 years of WrestleMania, which was horrible, by the way, was not a fun playthrough. It's basically a forced training tutorial that you have to do do a reversal, hit a strike combination, hit a Y button combination, reverse this, do that. Like, I don't need a training seminar every time you delete my save file, because I've learned over the years, I will upload my created character that I've spent so many tons of hours making in their moveset, because it takes 1,000,000 hours to make a created wrestler, and you can't just import prior years into it. But I've learned to upload my stuff, my logos, and my character to community creations, so that if heaven forbid the save file issue happens, I'll be okay there. But this year, they decided to log a ton of content, the majority, like so much content, behind 40 years of WrestleMania that you have to finish. You have to finish it. There's no accelerator this year. You have to do all that all over again. A several hour, 3 to 4 hour slog you're forced to play through again if this happens to you, just to be able to download stuff off community creations. Because the majority of good community creations have some sort of DLC or some sort of something that was locked behind the 40 years of WrestleMania to download them. So you lose your community creations, you lose your universe mode, you lose all this stuff, and even if you wanted to spend the hours, rebuilding it, re-downloading everything, all your characters, all your arenas, all your belts, all your everything you've put into this game, even if you're willing to do that, you're forced into 40 years of WrestleMania showcase mode. You're forced into that garbage just to be able to have the pleasure of wasting 2 or 3 hours re-downloading all your characters. Not to mention the problems with community creations, even just being able to get those characters back and the amount of time it'll go reloading community creations. Sometimes it'll download, sometimes it won't. Forget all those issues. Even if you're willing to go through that slog, you have to do the showcase mode again first. That's what threw me off. That's what turned me against this game. 2K, your biggest mistake was locking anything behind that horrible 3-hour slog of 30 years showcase nonsense. I never want to play it again. It's not fun to play a second playthrough. It's not fun. It's not an enjoyable experience. So stop it. Give us our accelerator if we pay for the stuff, if we want to unlock everything right away. I understand you want progression, you want this or that. If you can't fix your save file bug, then go F yourself. Like, seriously. It's disgusting to me. Absolutely disgusting. And now I haven't even gotten to the point of the problems with online that have existed with their servers for nearly a decade. The 2K servers for online are terrible. Their NBA 2K and their other franchises are far better. So far better. The online servers for 2K are absolutely terrible. And I don't even think we have crossplay. We don't even have crossplay. So I can't. That's why I got it for 2 consoles. They sucked a lot of money out of me this year. You won't be doing it to me next year. But they sucked a lot of money out of me this year because they don't even have crossplay. So their servers for online suck. And they don't even have crossplay in 2024. I can't play on PC with you guys on Xbox or PlayStation. I don't own a PlayStation 5, so I can't play with buddies like Loaded as a Beast, who's on PlayStation. Can't play with him at all anyways, even if I wanted to. But if you don't have it for PC, I got it for Xbox Series X, so I could at least play with 2 sets of players and play with my community. But guess what? I never even got there beyond the first week or 2 of the game's release, because once I heard the save file glitch was a thing again, I said, no, this is going to happen to me, and it turned me away from making any content for this game. Now the question is, will I come back to 2K? Maybe. Will I come back to 2K24? Maybe. I'm not saying I won't make any more content on this game, period. But the reason I haven't been making it, and why after launch, when it was the time that I would actually get views on those videos, especially after the momentum I was on from building up my channel from like 100 subscribers to over 2,000 subscribers over the course of the lead up to 2K and the months afterwards, building my channel up was largely from the coverage of this game, and my plans were to do a lot of community spotlights for community creations, universe mode playthroughs, different ideas for universe mode. Of course, finishing my My Rise series again. Haven't even finished playing My Rise yet because I just stopped playing the game entirely when enough people had told me that they had the save file corruption glitch. That was it for me. I was like, no, I'm not supporting this game. I'm not supporting these developers who don't have the care in the world to fix a problem that's been going on for a decade. A game-breaking glitch that has existed and continues to exist. And I attribute it to community creations. It has to have something to do with community creations because that's always seems to be where whether it's you go over the logo limit somehow by accident or whatever. That's on them. I'm not a game dev. You've had 10 years and you've made millions and millions of dollars over this game, from this game, over 10 years. Fix your effing game. 2K, unacceptable. I don't care if it was Ukes back then that was working on it, Visual Concepts, whoever's making the game, I don't care. You have the budget. This should have been fixed forever ago. The fact that it still happens today, that's why I stopped playing. Because it happened to other players, and I didn't want to support the game anymore because I was upset and pissed about it. I know I could have got more views, more subs, and grown my channel had I been continuing focusing on this game. But it really, really upset me. And just the fear of all the time I put in to my creator wrestler. And the biggest thing, because I've got him backed up on community creations, was just having to play the showcase mode. That's how unfun the showcase mode is. It's just the fear of having to play through it again and wasting that 3 hours to get through it to be able to re-download whatever I've lost. Like I didn't even get a chance. I didn't even make a universe mode in 2K24, which is one of my most fun things to do and would have been fun playthroughs and videos I would have made. So again, will I come back to the channel? Probably, but am I set to come back to it anytime soon? I don't know. Will I come back for 2K25? I know a lot of you guys follow me and followed me and subscribed to me in the first place for my coverage of 2K wrestling games, of 2K24. I know some of you here are because of Ultra Pro Wrestling and other wrestling games and just other games as a whole. But yes, I will definitely cover the lead up to 2K25. Will I buy it? Probably. Sad to say, I probably will give them my business again for the channel's sake. And yeah, I might come back and play 2K24 because, hey, maybe some of you, let me know. Sound off in the comments down below. Would you like me to do a live stream of 2K24? Would you want to play some matches online together? Because I had so much fun with when the game launched, doing live streams and playing with you guys. Playing with the viewers and stuff and getting a chance to play with you guys in different various game modes and stuff was a lot of fun to me. That was actually the most fun I had with this game. Which is why I was sad that they still had the issues they had. I just can't believe that after a decade that the save file glitch is still a problem. Still a persistent issue. It's gross to me. It's gross negligence on their part. And please share this video with your friends. Share this with 2K. Get the message out there because to me it's so crazy that we still have this problem. We still have the issue of terrible online servers. We still don't have crossplay, and we still are having a save file glitch that breaks your game. If they didn't lock everything behind the showcase mode and a 3-hour slog, if you did lose your save file, I probably would have kept playing. It's the fear of losing it because I download a whole bunch of community creations to do, say, a community creation spotlight, and maybe I have an active universe that I've sunk a lot of time into, I'd be scared to lose any of that. So I just didn't want to waste the time to begin with. I didn't even want to risk it. It wasn't even worth the risk to me because it already happened to me in 2016 with 2K17. So, anyways, dubious ones, I really appreciate y'all for watching. I want to know, are you still playing 2K24? I mean, I paid for the deluxe edition and have a whole bunch of DLC in this game that I've never even looked at, touched, or anything. Like, let's go look over at Steam right now. Just want to see the last time I played this game on Steam. Let's take a look here. Let's go to 2K. There's an update queued. I last played this game on May the 15th. We're in September. The last time I played this, and I haven't played it on Xbox anymore recently either. The last time I played this, May 15th. So that's just going to show you that, I mean, sadly, this game, it's fun. It was fun to play. I never had a bad time playing it. But there's just outrageous glitches and issues that shouldn't exist this many years later. But that's just my thoughts. Again, sound off in the comments below. Are you still playing 2K24? Are you having fun with the game? Do you still enjoy it? Are you looking forward to playing, 2K25? Is there issues? Is there a reason you stopped playing 2K24? What do you think of the engine? I really want to know the feedback from you guys to know what's good about this game, what's bad about it. If you stop playing it for another reason, what are those reasons? Is the problem with my factions? Too many things locked behind it, trying to force you into spending money in my factions? What is it about this game that is really an issue for you? And what parts of this game do you really still love and really enjoy? Because to me, the creation suite in this game was second to none, which is why I wanted to make it very clear that there are parts of this game that I really do love, and this franchise that I really do love, and think they nail out of the park. But the outlining issues for me, like I said, a game-breaking bug that just deletes your save file, still existing 10 years later, absolutely crazy. Like I said, I have the entire. This is a 4-minute shortened clip, but I have the full 20-minute of my save file being deleted. So you can see my live reactions and my potty mouth and my frustrations and everything happening in real time. If you want to see that again from 2016, I will leave a link to that video in the comments below so you can get the full video there. But otherwise, that's going to do it for this one. I appreciate you all for watching. And again, I really, really, really want to hear from you guys. Your feedback is always invaluable to me. So if you can leave me your comments in the comments section down below, I appreciate you. And I'll catch you in the next one. Devious ones, deuces.